Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be talking about how we applied for our SOWP extension and for my student permit extension. So I keep getting a lot of questions related to applying for study permit extension along with the student work permit extension. So I've created a video in which I have given a detailed description of how you can use and what all documents can you use in order to apply for both of these extensions together. So what we did was we applied for both of these extensions together, both study permit extension and SOWP extension. So I'll give you a small timeline, like when did we apply for the extensions and when did we get our extensions in case of applying together. So firstly, we applied for both these extensions in December 2022. My visa, that is student visa, was getting expired in April 2022, but we applied way before so that we get our visas on time. We applied together in our app in one application for the extension, and the documents that we uploaded and the forms that we filled, all those details are mentioned in my YouTube videos, so which I have shared earlier, so you can refer those videos. Also, I'll leave the link to those videos in the description box. So also it will be really easy for you to apply for those extensions once you watch those videos, so do check it out. Secondly, since we applied in December 2022 and we were not getting any updates, so we raised two web forms. After checking the processing times, application processing times, and knowing that it is taking more time than it is expected, but finally we got our extension letters in June 2022. And by the time, I have already completed my studies and I also applied for my PGWP along with SOWP extension again for my spouse as well as for my PGWP application. So I'll tell about that particular thing also, like how did we apply for PGWP along with SOWP extension. And I know it's a long journey for a lot of people, and we have to keep pushing ourselves and doing our best and whatever we can do in order to apply the visas and extensions correctly. So I'll keep answering your questions in whatever way possible, so you can leave your questions in the below comment section and I'll answer those questions. So this was about our timeline. Next, what I will do is I'll show you how we applied for a PGWP and SOWP extension. How do we create it and applied for it together in one application? So without any further ado, let's get started and look into the application of how I applied for PGWP along with SOWP extension for my spouse. So first you have to go to your CIC account and you have to sign in into your application. So I'll select GC key sign in. So I'll click on sign in with the GC key. So once you have signed into your application, you have to start a new application and you have to select apply to come to Canada. So it includes applications related to your visitor visas, work and study permits. So we'll click on this particular link, and it says that please enter your personal reference code to begin with your application. Since we don't have the personal reference code as of now, so we are going to go in this option. I do not have a personal reference code, and once you're logged in into your account, you can select among one of these options. So as of now, we are applying for PGWP and SOWP extension together, so I'll select this particular option which says visitor visa, study and work permit. So this is the button I'm going to click. So it says you have to determine your eligibility, that whether you're eligible to apply for it or not. So let's make our selections in order to make sure that we're doing it correctly. So what would you like to do in Canada? So let's say I'm going to work now. Since I have completed my masters, I'm applying for PGWP and I'm going to select work in this particular drop down. Then it says how long are you planning to stay in Canada. So let's say I say select temporarily more than 6 months. Then it says select the code that matches the one on your passport. So let's say whatever passport you have. Let's say I have an Indian passport. So this is the code that I select. Then the next one is what is your current country slash territory of residence. If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. Okay, so we are going to select Canada for it. Since I am in Canada currently and I'm applying for my PGWP application. Do you have a family member who is Canadian citizen or PR and is 18 years or older? So in my case, that's a no. Then it is asking for your date of birth. And once you enter your date of birth, you're going to click on next button. If you're watching the video till here and you think it's useful for you, so please consider subscribing to our channel and give it a thumbs up. Okay, without any further ado, let me continue with the video. So let's click on next. Then it is asking, are you a lawful PR of US or US citizenship? So let me select no over here. Then again, we are going to click on next. Then it says, what is your current immigration status in Canada? So my current status is student. So I'll select student and I'll click on next. So do you plan to work on campus? Answer is no. Are you a full time student at a participating secondary institution and want to work off campus up to 20 hours per week? Answer is no. Then have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post secondary institution for which your study program was a full time and was a minimum of 8 months? So I'll select yes over here because my study program was for 2 years. So I selected yes over here. Then the next question is your work as essential part of your studies? So work is essential part of your studies. So yeah, it was, but let's select no over here and we'll go to our next option. Have you ever been told by RCC office that you're approved in person for PR in Canada? So for me, the answer is no. Have you submitted a PR application? Not yet. So I'll select no. Do you have a written job offer? So at that time, I was not having the job offer when I applied for PGWP plus SOWP extension. So I'll select no over here, and then I'll select next. Then it says, do you have an official letter from your school that confirms you have completed your study program as well as copy of a final transcript? So this is something that you need to get from your university or whichever college you're attending. So I'll select yes over here because I started my application once I received both of these documents, completion certificate as well as my final transcript from the university. Then I'll click on next. Then it is asking for what is your marital status. So let me select married over here. Then it says what is your province or territory of destination. If visiting multiple provinces or territories, select the one in which you are spending most of your time. So currently we are in Saskatchewan, so I'm going to select that one. And then we are going to click on next. So now it is giving me these two options, TRB and postgraduate work permit in Canada. So this is the option that I'm going to select because I'm going to apply for my PGWP application, that too from within Canada. So I'll select this option. I'll click on continue. So it says you are almost there. Then I'm clicking on continue again. So yes, I have already received my completion letter as well as final transcripts. So I'll select yes over there. Let me select no over here and go to the next page. And it says a medical exam is needed if you are going to intend to work in one of these jobs. So do you fit into one of these categories? For my case, the answer is no. So I'll select next. I'll select no and I'll select next. Do you work in one of these jobs? The answer is no for me currently. So I selected no. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? Yes, I would like to submit an application for my spouse as well, along with my PGWP application. So I'll select yes over there. And then I'll again click on next button. Now, if you have submitted applications for more than one family member, please start with your spouse or common law partner. So let me start with my spouse, his application. So I'll click on next. Which country does your family member live in? So he's residing currently in Canada. So which country issued your member's passport, family member's passport? So let's say we are both from India. So I'll select India. Then I'll again click on next after selecting that. Then is your family member a PR? The answer is no. Then we'll go to next. What is your family member's current marital status? So he is married. What is your family member's current date of birth? Sorry, date of birth. So we'll select that as well. Then where will your family member be staying in Canada? So we are both planning to stay in the same province. Then I'm going to select next. Then what is your family member's current immigration status in Canada? So he is working as a on an open work permit. So I'll select worker. Then I'm selecting next. What is your family member what to do in Canada? So he want to apply for an extension for an open work permit. So I selected that option. Then I'll click on next. Then there's an option, does your family member want to restore their status in Canada? The answer is no, because he already has a status of open work permit. So I'm going to select next. No and next. Has your family member had a medical exam performed in last 12 months? Let's select no over here. Okay, so I clicked on next. Okay, so it is asking a similar type of questions. So does it fit in one of these categories? So I'll say no, and I'll click on next. Then again it asks, are you going to work on this particular category? I mean, is your family member going to work in any of this category? The answer is no in my case. So you can choose accordingly. In the past 10 years, has your family member given their fingerprints and photo for an application to come to Canada? The answer is yes. Then I'll click on next. Then it says there are fees associated with your family member's application. Will you be paying your family member's fees, or is your family member fee exempt? So I'll say yes, I'll be paying the fees, and then we'll click on next. How do you want to submit? Do you want to submit an application for another family member? The answer is no, and I'll click on next. No, I'm going to access my application. I'm going to file my application. I'm not giving access to anyone. So I'll select no over there. Depending on your case, you can make the correct selection. Then I click on next. Have you given your fingerprint? So the answer is yes. I have given my biometrics. I have done my biometrics. I'll select yes, and I'll click on next. There are fees associated with the application. Will you be paying the fees? Yes, I'll be paying my application fees. I'll select next. So, are you able to make a digital copy of your documents with a scanner or camera? The answer is yes. Then it says, will you be paying your application fees online? So, I'll select yes with one of these cards. So, that's a straightforward question. So, this is the result that it has given me. So, you can review the results, all the dates and everything, whatever you have entered um, in this particular questionnaire, and then you can click on continue. So these are the steps. You have to save your application, you have to upload your documents, pay your fees, and finally you can submit your application. So it is telling you the steps. And once you click on continue, it will bring you to these page where it will show you what all documents you are supposed to upload. So these are some of the documents, the forms that you have to fill and you have to upload. So I'll be making another video where I'll be sharing what all documents we uploaded for our application, and this is the family member application. So these all documents are something that is required for the family member application, and this is the fees that it is showing. So this is how you create, or this is how you apply for your uh, PGWP application. So over here in continue an application you haven't submit, you can see that the application that you just started, it needs to be submitted within 60 days, and it will appear in this particular table that appears below continue an application you haven't submitted. So you can go back and you can upload your documents, you can save your documents, and then you can come back and fill your application, continue filling your application. So that is how you create an application for a PGWP application along with your SOWP extension that you apply with your PGWP application. So that is how you do it. In my next video, I'll be elaborating more on what all documents we uploaded in this particular application, and that's it for today. So I hope this video was informative for you, and it will help you in your journey of applying your PGWP application along with your SOWP application. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you. Bye bye.